play against Philly.
Absolutely. Well, the Penguins and Ray Shero in particular have been very busy in the days leading up to the trade deadline on February 28th. The Pens pick up a couple big names in James Neal and Matt Niskanen, certainly Alex Kovalev returning to Pittsburgh. Originally, when the Neal-Niskanen deal was first announced, the fans' general conclusion, not just on the Penguins side, but also on the Dallas side, seems to be that the Penguins won this deal, and certainly from the fans, Dallas GM Joe Nieuwendyk took some flack. Seeing how this has resulted, Neal gets his first points tonight, Niskanen had his the other night, and how Goligoski's done in Dallas, do you think this perception's still the same?
Well, you have to look back and you see last November, Sidney Crosby and Matt Niskanen were punching each other in the face, and now he's over here scoring goals, getting assists, playing strong defense. It's a whirlwind, the NHL. You see trades like this all the time. Guys get on the plane, and before you know it, I think overall both teams have benefited from this. It's been a great exchange. Goligoski's great for them at the point, and we've got James Neal and Niskanen who've both been putting up numbers for us in the past couple games.
Absolutely, and Alex Goligoski's done very well thus far in Dallas. Certainly, Dallas was addressing their needs for an offensive puck-moving defenseman, and they got just that in Alex Goligoski. Another big acquisition for Pittsburgh was getting Alex Kovalev from the Ottawa Senators in exchange for a conditional seventh-round pick. Of course, the condition being that the pick will become a sixth-rounder if the Pens get past the first round of the playoffs and Kovalev plays in 50% of the games. But you'd think overall a small price to pay for a potential 20 to 25 goal scorer?
Especially a guy with that kind of experience. You're looking at a leader, a guy that can really center our team, considering that we're missing some of our main guys who would normally provide that inspiration. We need more veterans on our team to supplement some of the new guys we're getting in from places like Wilkes-Barre and the trade guys that just came in. So having that veteran experience really helps us out.
Absolutely. Now, Kovalev has played for the Pittsburgh Penguins previously, and in fact has had arguably his best years in Pittsburgh, playing alongside players like Mario Lemieux, Jaromir Jagr, and Kevin Stevens. Not only having experience with the team, but with the city and the fans as well. Do you think it's made the transition any easier for him?
Well, definitely. I think that a lot of his fans who were fans of him before have stayed as his fans just because he's that kind of guy. And you look at the kind of work he's done, not only as a player, but as a person with his charitable work and everything else that he's done. Kovalev, he's endearing to the fans of Pittsburgh as well as he was to the fans in Ottawa, so he's that kind of guy.
Absolutely, and he's certainly been well received back by the Penguins fans. Now, it's been said that Pittsburgh has a very different system than many other teams in the NHL. Defensively, they like to play aggressively to force turnovers. Many times they'll end up dumping the puck into the offensive zone to try to create scoring opportunities. Guys like Jordan Staal, Matt Cook, and Tyler Kennedy are already proficient and excel in this kind of system. But for a guy like James Neal, who's played under a different system in Dallas and with a different group of guys, how long do you think it might take a player like him to really buy into this Penguin system and develop great chemistry with his line mates?
Well, I think he's already starting to click. You look at the guys, both of them, Niskanen and Neal, are already starting to click with our offense. You can tell because of the existing competition between teammates and between opponents. And you look at how well he's worked with England and Staal, and they've been there all of about 2 weeks maybe now, and they've already started to work together. They look like they're having a great time out there, even though it's a tough game. They look like they're doing a lot of work, getting stuff done. The passing looks good. Once the offense gets a little bit more practice, I think it'll be great.
Absolutely, and you can tell he's already fitting in well in the locker room. His teammates have already started to call him Nealer. Now, come September, Sid and Gino return to the lineup. There's been so much speculation over the lines and who's going to get Neal on their line. What do you think line would be best for James Neal? Would it be with Crosby, with Malkin, perhaps with Staal?
I think you send him straight up with Crosby for Neal, especially in the first line. But I think later in the game you might see a Neal, Malkin, Crosby line, which would be very effective in getting almost a three-headed monster kind of effect.
That would be great, and certainly maybe perhaps on the power play line, Crosby, Neal, and Malkin would be very effective. All right, we're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going to have some game predictions for the upcoming weekend. Stay tuned right here on the Iceberg.